Welcome back, Star Wars fans. This is Gerbil with another Ewok video, this time sharing my strategy tips and guides through each of the 4 levels of the Sith Triumvirate raid. Now, you can see here, 32 million damage, first place in my guild, and this was done almost entirely with Ewoks. Yep, Ewoks. Here's my most recent raid run, 12.9 million damage. Yep, 3 of them are Gear 13. But come on now, they're Ewoks, and from all the forums, everybody just keeps trashing the Ewoks. They are sincerely misunderstood, and in my opinion, the most underrated offensive team in the game. If you're putting them on defense, you are really playing them wrong and don't have a clue how to run Ewoks. Don't mean to be offensive, but they are not a defensive squad. They fall fast. Anyway, Phase 1, the trick here is Logray. Logray is going to be able to give the entire squad advantage. Now, what makes Nihilus really strong is 2 things. 3. Obviously, he can kill a player in 1 hit, so you got to watch out for that and use your buff to protect somebody. But his basic removes all of your buffs in 1 hit. Logray counters that. So you use C-3PO to put some stacks of translation on him, you get him up to 3, then you continue to use C-3PO's basic to drop all the cooldowns. Logray keeps all of your team protected with advantage, and they just keep hitting and hitting. And this is even a solid Gear 12 team, 3 million damage. Now, is that epic? No, but it's solid because Ewoks are easy to farm. They are super, super easy to farm, with the exception perhaps of Wicked, who you have to run through the ATST event. But beyond that, once you got your Ewok, C-3PO is easy. A lot of people struggle with the C-3PO, but that's because they didn't invest much into their Ewoks. Now, for a similarly equipped Zeta, Relic, whatever level, I have found on offense the Ewoks can take down everything but Revan. Darth Revan is not hard. Empire is free. Bounty Hunters is a guaranteed win. Night Sister if you know the order, they are like butter, easy to walk through. Anyway, this is not about that. So, Phase 2 is pretty straightforward. Do not remove the stacks of pain. Just let those things accumulate as much as you can. If you happen to be starting in Phase 2, you want to take out Logray. He's not much help here. And you're going to replace Logray with either Ewok Scout or Teebo. The reason you want Teebo is because he can give the entire team turn meter, basically going over and over and over again because of C-3PO and the translation stacks. His cooldowns drop, so Chirpa calls in C-3PO to assist. Wicked can call in a targeted assist, and C-3PO is going to be going off over and over and over again. So every other turn, Teebo is going to give the entire team 100% turn meter, which is great. But I don't usually put him in there. I usually use Ewok Scout because he is a powerful attacker, and Ewok Scout's secondary attack is special, calls an assist, and then Chirpa's lead gives him a 60% chance for a second assist. So basically, you're getting 3 attacks for 1 out of Scout. And again, with stacks of translation and C-3PO constantly attacking with his basic, Ewok Scout's special attack basically becomes his only attack. So every single time he attacks, he's calling in 1 or 2 other attacks. And if you're lucky, he's calling in C-3PO, which is again dropping those cooldowns so he can keep it going, so Chirpa can call in the entire team, so Wicked can use his specials, and on it goes. Now in this phase, Ewok Scout and Wicked can both hit upwards of 60 to 80,000 damage. When you get theirs Gear 13 on them, and my squad is currently Relic level 3, they start to hit for closer to 60 to 180, and Wicked's going to be the one doing that. I have seen him hit for 180,000 as a Gear 13 Relic level 3. Relics are controversial, but I found that the first 3 levels of them are super easy to farm. They really are easy to farm, at least the first 3, maybe even the first 5, but I haven't decided to invest that much into my Ewoks. Lately, I've been shifting a bit over to Commander Luke just because he seems to be more stable in arena. He's a lot harder to defeat on defense. But again, offensive, these guys are my pride and joy. I love them, and they continue to impress me, and they're a lot of fun. So here we go. This run is almost over, and you can see with a solid Gear 12 team, there's almost 5 million damage in the second phase. Now, Phase 3 And forgive me here, I don't know the correct terms here. I guess I could look it up, but I'm not going to. The trick about phase 3 is you just basically want to repeat phase 2. Use C-3PO to drop the cooldowns on your team. Don't run Tebow here. He's not super effective. Use Ewok Scout or preferably Wicked or even Chirpa when you reset Treya's stacking ability there. I don't know what it is again. I should look it up, but I don't really care. So you take out the lightsabers and you can just hit auto. As you can see there, top left corner, the green button is automatic, and let your Ewoks do their thing. Now, if you specifically target and manually control it, you will definitely do more damage. So this run is not going to be the highest score, because when you target, you're going to want to use Wicked or C-3PO to call in Chief Chirpa to hit when the target has over 50% turn meter, because if the target he hits with his basic has 50% turn meter, he gains 35%. Of course, the faster he gets to go off, the sooner he calls in Tribal Tactics, which calls all of the 4 Ewoks and C-3PO to attack. C-3PO lowers the cooldowns, and the cycle just repeats over and over again. You can get into a really, really nice loop where you can actually go off on Treya and, depending on your squad, hit 3 to 5 million damage again without Gear 13. Now, the fourth phase is, I'm not gonna say tricky or whatever. I'm just gonna simply say ignore Nihilus. Don't mess with Nihilus. The shield regenerates. You're not going to do as much damage because of it. Just keep pounding on Scion. Now, eventually, Nihilus gets that counter strike up there. Retribution. He gets the speed buff. So if you're running Logray or Tebow, you can use them to debuff Nihilus. But otherwise, ignore him and just focus all of your efforts on Scion. Same strategies as before. I generally run Ewok Scout just for the added damage here. You can see he's hitting for anywhere from 16 to 25,000 a strike, which is not a lot, except he's fast. And again, with all of the turn meter gains from Wicked and each other, and the assists called in from Chirpa and Wicked and C-3PO, he takes a lot of turns. And then again, his special can call in 2 other assists. So they compound each other, right? So it's just all about the turn meter and the consecutive speed advantage over your opponents. And this is why bounty hunters and Night Sisters can be so easily, in particular bounty hunters, they're just too slow. I can often take on a vastly superior bounty hunter squad in terms of relic, gear levels, and everything, and beat them without the opponent taking more than maybe 2 or 3 attacks. In the beginning, if they got Guido or Dengar, you can usually kill one of them before they get a counterattack. If Boss gets his taunt, you can wipe him out in one phase before he gets a second attack. It's kind of nice. But this is, again, not about that. It's about the Sith raid. So this is going to go on for a while. You notice how I do not have it on autoplay here, because in the fourth one, if you leave it on autoplay, you end up doing area of attack damages with Wicket when you don't want, and then Nihilus hits you with Retribution, and you lose those stacks of translation. Or I don't know why mine tends to just automatically stop targeting Scion and shifting it over to Nihilus. I don't know why that happens in the fourth raid phase, and it seems to only happen in the fourth phase. So I generally do manually run this one through. Now, this is the one where you're going to get the least amount of damage out here because, well, obviously you got 3 opponents, 3 mythic level opponents here. So I would say when you're still gear 12 or under, I'd think 2.5 to 3 million damage is optimal. But what does that mean? It means even at gear 12 and below, from start to finish in the 4 phases, if your guild lets you get 4 attempts, as most do at that level, then it's pretty easy to get anywhere from 12 to 16 million damage out of Ewoks. And again, they're very, very easy to farm. Very minimal investment is necessary. Very few Zetas relative to all the other popular squads. So I'd say go for it. Now, when you get to the gear 13s, which I'm going to show you in a second, I just have one video that I'll share. You start to be able to get between 12 and 16 million dollars damage per run, depending on your phase. Phase 1, you're not going to be able to clear, no way whatsoever. I think a reasonable target for Gear 13 Ewoks with C-3PO in Phase 1 is about 5 to 8 million damage, which is pretty solid. Phase 2, you can easily get upwards of 15 million on their own. Phase 3, I've been able to get 9 million, and Phase 4, I've been able to get 6 to 7 million. So if you happen to be able to jump in between phases, like this run right here, I got in at the very end of Phase 2, and then it's going to walk into Phase 3 pretty quickly. When this one ended, it was a run of 13 million damage. Now I'm going to shut up and stop talking, but if you jump to the end of this video or watch the rest of the way through it, you'll see that I finished this run through the Sith raid at first place in my guild. I used 2 Ewok attacks, 1 Jedi Knight, Luke, well not Jedi, but Commander Luke Skywalker, and maybe another one I don't remember. But I got 33 million almost damage, and 30 million of that came from Ewoks in 2 attacks. But yeah, Ewoks. They're pretty solid. Don't believe all the negativity you see on the Galaxy of Heroes forums, because if you're using them effectively, meaning you actually learn their kit and you don't just throw them at your enemy or put them in defense, you're going to be really surprised with how powerful they are. I see so many people complain in Grand Arena that their Ewoks just got nested. Yeah, duh. Every squad is viably weak against something, and Nest eats the Ewoks so easy. So don't go on defense. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.